What's up my guys, assalamu alaikum, welcome back to another video. So in today's video I'm going to be speaking about small things, minor things, but it's just on top of my mind. What could that topic be? What could it be? What could it be? What could it be? This is something that is very important, and I feel I have to get this message out there. It's my 2 cents. Give your 2 cents as well, what you feel about this matter. However, my 2 cents on this matter is religion and culture. Religion and culture. That's correct. Let me repeat myself. Religion and culture. To make myself more specific, as we see the world around us, the way things are happening and things are being done, not a lot of people are following their religion, but following their culture. Food for thought. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against anyone's culture. I'm not against anyone's religion. I mean, you have the full right to follow whatever you want to follow, and follow the culture that you were raised in, that you lived by, that your parents were. That's 100% correct. Now, where I have a problem is where you pick and choose what suits you, and then you label it as religion, and then you don't, fall back to your culture, or you mix the two. Now, this is where we need to get things straight and in order. Whatever culture you come from, regardless whether you come from a black community, whether you come from a white community, whether you're a mixed racial community, whether you're a colored community, Indian community, Pakistani community, Bengali community, Indian community. Yes, those 3 communities. Let me just be more of Indians, Pakistanis, and Bengalis. Those 3 communities, they have 3 different ways of life. However, they follow one religion. Or obviously, the common one I'm going to just highlight is Islam. They have their own religions as well: Hinduism, Christianity, and whatever. Now, just be specific on Islam. They all follow Islam, but they have their own cultures that they follow by, and they're not the same. But they like to pick and choose what they feel is right for them, and then they continue. Same when it comes to our South African culture, with the whites who become Muslims, with the coloreds who become Muslims, or who were Muslim, but their cultures are different, from different backgrounds, and from the black community who become Muslims from different backgrounds. This is where I'm coming at. This is where I'm trying to come at, is that there's nothing wrong with your culture. There's nothing wrong with anything like that. However, don't mix the two together. Don't pick and choose what suits you and what doesn't suit you, because what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up confusing the next generation. The ones that come after us, they're going to see what you do, and then that's where you're going to have this issue of the next 4 generations are lost. They lost their religion because it was mixed and misused by elders, and now it's just completely off off everything, where the person doesn't know their culture properly. The culture has been completely wiped off, and then they also don't understand the religion. That's if they don't also go and study the religion. They just follow whatever the elders tell them to do. We need to bring up this topic, speak about it, educate ourselves by questioning our elders on things that don't make sense to us respectfully, and then follow up by your local priest, local Maulana, whether what you are doing is contradicting your religion or not. You hold on to your culture as much as you can. However, if you become a Muslim, or I'm going to speak about being a Muslim myself. If you become a Muslim and Islam prohibits you from doing something that your culture does on a norm, then that's where you draw the line. However, whatever your culture doesn't go against Islam, then you're most welcome to do it. No one will ever stop you from doing it. If you were a Xhosa, black person, and you became Muslim, it's not really necessary for you to change your name from Akona or Olani or whatever your name was to a Muslim name. That's something you choose to do. You don't need to change your surname. You don't need to change your family name. Some certain customs that the Xhosa people do, that's totally fine to continue doing it, keeping in mind that you don't follow those types of customs that goes against the religion of Islam. Where it comes to, that's where you draw the line, and that's where you also educate yourself and equip your mind and yourself for your child to explain it to your child, so they don't get confused, and they can also explain better to their friends. They don't have to have a question mark on their head on what they should do further. Respecting our elders is one thing, but confusing the next generation is another. We need to not mix up the two. Keep our culture well preserved, and also following our religion to the full, to the max. That's what unites us. That's what I think breaks borders down, because we're united by one kalima, la ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, with unique, beautiful, different cultures. Remember what I'm saying is, do not now stop following your culture, given that it doesn't go against the teachings of Islam. If your custom now goes against the whole teachings of Islam, then of course, by all means, you have to now stop it completely. That is now a given. But if it's not going against the teachings of Islam, then hold on to it, cling on to it, and you can continue practicing those cultural things that your family would do, and continue. So you preserve your culture for your next gen, and you're also holding on to your religion as well. But if it goes against the teachings of Islam, then guys, please prohibit yourself from following it, and protect yourself, educate the next. Sometimes we continue doing things in the name of culture, but it's going against the religion, and we don't know it because we weren't taught about it. And some people think that when you become Muslim now, then you must change your whole way of everything. Automatically, you start to educate yourself and you start to see that Islam has ways out and things out and processes. And all those things that Islam teaches us to do is actually for our benefit. So you'll notice that you start adapting to those kind of processes. You will start adapting to those type of ways because those type of ways are in the best of ways to do things. It's just it's in people who have become Muslim over the years. You can ask them how they would do things in their daily life prior to Islam and how after Islam learning how to do things differently, how that changed their life completely. It's just facts. So yeah, just guys, remember culture on one hand and religion on the other. Don't mix the two. Don't confuse the next gen. I love and leave you. Assalamu alaikum.